Hi everyone, welcome back. My topic for the seminar is flood, earthquakes, cyclones, and the mitigation measures. In the previous topic, we have already learned what is disaster and what are the disaster prone areas. Here we will discuss what are the different type of disaster and the mitigation measures. So I will start my topic by saying what is disaster. Disaster is a sudden change in the environmental condition causing excessive damage to human as well as plants, animals and surrounding. And what is disaster? Disaster is a damaging event of nature. Flood, cyclone, earthquakes are some of the disaster events. Tsunami is also one of the disaster events. There are different type of disaster. Some are natural and some are man-made. Nuclear holocaust, fire accidents are man-made disaster, but floods, cyclones, drought, earthquakes are natural disaster. These natural disasters are due to changes in the natural condition. First, we discuss about what is flood. Flood is occur when land that is usually dry is submerged by large amount of water. Flood is sudden submergence of land area with water is called as flood. The occurrence of floods can be due to both natural and human causes. Human causes of floods are clearing of forest, urban development, enhanced greenhouse effect, and improper farming and other land use practices. Natural causes of floods are excessive rainfall, storm, melting snow, global atmospheric process, and earthquakes. There are many impacts due to flood. The main impact of flood is loss of life. When flood occurs, mostly people are unprepared. This leads to loss of lives in drowning. Impact is higher in floodplain areas which are densely populated. Then damage to infrastructure and property. Flood cause huge losses to homes, roads, power supply and other infrastructure. Spread of disease also an impact of flood. After flood, moreover homeless flood victims are housed in temporary shelters which are mostly overcrowded and with poor sanitation conditions. This may result in outbreak of waterborne diseases which may turn situation worse. And the next impact is loss of natural habitats such as trees, vegetation and other natural habitats may get destroyed during flood, leading to loss of biodiversity. See, this is a picture of flood. Then mitigations of flood are flood can be mitigated by structural, water control and non-structural measures. Structural methods of flood mitigations include building dams, reservoir and the like. Water control methods include increasing forest and vegetation cover, watershed management, flood proofing and catchment modification, etc. Non-structural methods include flood forecasting, flood warning and emergency preparedness systems, flood insurance, public information and education, and flood relief. These non-structural methods increases the decreases the impact of flood. The next disaster is earthquake. What is earthquake? It is the shaking of the surface of the earth with sudden release of energy in the form of seismic waves on the surface of the earth. When earthquakes occur beneath the sea, it causes tsunami. The study of earthquake is called as seismology and the instrument used to measure seismic waves is called as seismometer or seismograph. The magnitude of earthquake is measured by Richter scale. The effects of earthquakes are: first one, soil liquefaction. Due to earthquakes, granular material such as sands temporarily loses its strength and transforms from a solid to a liquid. This is called as soil liquefaction. Next, landslide. Earthquakes can produce slope instability leading to landslides and avalanche. Then tsunamis. When earthquakes occur under sea, it causes tsunami. Most destructive tsunamis are caused by earthquakes of magnitude 7.5 or more. Floods. Flood is known as secondary effect of earthquakes, as they may occur if dams are damaged due to earthquake. Fires. Earthquakes can cause fires by damaging electrical power or gas lines. This is the outline of a earthquake. The mitigation methods of are earthquakes cannot be stopped or predicted accurately, but certain management techniques could be followed to minimize its effect. First one, construction of buildings which can tolerate earthquakes. This can be done by keeping weak spots in building to absorb vibrations, to keep pads or floors beneath buildings. Wooden house to be preferred in earthquake prone area. Soil testing should be done so that stability of building is assured. Seismic retrofitting is a modification of existing structures to make them more resistant to seismic activity, ground motion or soil failure due to earthquakes. Preparedness and safe building construction can reduce extent of damage and loss. Establishment of GPS station in the earthquake prone region to assess future crustal movements. The next disease is cyclones. Cyclones refers to any spinning storm that rotates around a low pressure center. The low pressure center is also referred to as the eye of the storm. It is accompanied by powerful winds blowing anti-clockwise in northern hemisphere and clockwise in southern hemisphere. They are known by different names in different countries. Effect of cyclones. Cyclones bring destruction to life and property. It is characterized by heavy rains and strong winds. Strong surge. It is an abnormal rise of sea level near the coast caused by a severe tropical cyclone resulting in inundation of low-lying areas of coastal region. It drowns human beings and livestock, destroys vegetation and reduces soil fertility. Floods. Heavy and continued rains due to cyclones may cause floods and submergence of low-lying areas, resulting in loss of life and property. Then strong winds. Very strong winds may damage infrastructure, dwellings, communication systems, trees and the like. Crop. It damages crops which could lead to inflation. Decline in tourists. Tourists will not come to a cyclone affected area, thereby affecting livelihood of people. Psychological impact due to cyclones. Disaster of any kind has long-lasting fear on minds of masses. They have witnessed large numbers of deaths, collapse of infrastructures, cries, pains and many sorrows. This is a picture of cyclones. Mitigation methods of cyclones are: first, coastal plantation. Forests act as buffer zone against cyclones. Cyclones travel unchecked in absence of forest. The degraded forest land must be planted. Effective weather monitoring. Cyclones can be predicted several days before, so effective weather monitoring and forecasts can help in minimizing the losses due to cyclones. Land use control. Land use should be such that minimum critical activities carried out in vulnerable areas. Buildings should be water and wind resistant. Coastal regulation zone norms. They should be strictly enforced. Insurance cover. Comprehensive state insurance cover needs to be provided for persons, their properties and cattle. Preparedness. Preparedness is the best mitigation for all disasters. Coastal areas should have adequate preparedness against cyclones. Wide roads for quick evacuation, disaster resilient buildings, shelter houses, etc. Awareness. Focused awareness activities are required to increase public awareness of storm surge, flooding and rainfall related to cyclones. Thank you.